Now we left off our last segment, with this notion of reincarnation and why it makes sense on the picture of reality that says everything is dependent on everything else. And though, therefore, not only is mind dependent on matter, but matter is dependent on mind. And if you understand that, then you understand the Buddhist solution to all of this. And that's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So the key is to produce the kind of mind where you are not attached to anything, and therefore nothing matters, therefore nothing can affect you, because there is no you to be affected. So, but immediately a question arises. If there's no true self, if there's no real Troy in all of this, then what reincarnates? You see, it's easy to understand if there is a permanent soul. So in Hinduism, what reincarnates is when my body dies, then my soul goes to another body. That makes sense. You can say, well, I'm now in a new body, but there's no I to go on. I don't last a moment. There is no permanent thing that continues to exist even in the same body. So then what is reincarnation? Well, reincarnation is the continuation of that same process. In other words, yes, there is nothing there's no Troy that reincarnates. There's no same person. But on the other hand, it's not a different person. The best way to understand this is think about a row of candles. Let my present existence have a body with my consciousness. And obviously, just like the fire and the candle, it depends on the candle for its burning. And so that's my present state of existence. As long as that fire is still hot, then it produces sparks, doesn't it? That makes it continue to burn on that candle. But then think of death as the snuffing out of that candle, as a very swift snuffing out. Well, what does that mean? Well, if the candle is snuffed out by a strong enough wind, then the candle, once it's snuffed out, produces sparks that linger, don't they? And that go in the direction of the next candle. And those sparks ignite another candle. And then what happens? The wind blows again, right? Snuffs out the candle, and those sparks then ignite a new candle. In all of these cases, you could say that the flame in this candle is not the same as the flame in this candle, is not the same as the flame in this candle, but you also can't say they're completely different either. The flame on this candle is what produced the flame on this candle, and so forth. And that's the case with me and my present state of consciousness. In 2019, I'm not the same person as I was in 1979. I was a very different person. I didn't look the same. I didn't think the same. I didn't even have the same body, technically speaking, because none of the cells and molecules that inhabited my body in 1979 are still existing in my body right now. And so there's one sense in which you can say the me in 1979 is not the same person as the me in 2019. But let's be careful here. Obviously, it's not a different person. Obviously, what I have is something that my present self is the product of my previous self. There's a continuous stream, like a river. The old saying is, I can never step in the same river twice. Yes, I can step in the same river twice, but what I can't step in is the same waters. That river will be very different each time I step in it. But the river is still this process of flowing water. So I am this process of craving and continuation that produces the flame of existence and suffering. And that continues on as long as the conditions are there for its continuation. So nirvana is the snuffing out of that. Another way of thinking about it is thinking about a team. Obviously, the Celtics have lasted a long time, haven't they? They existed in 1979. They also exist in 2019. The question is, are they the same team? In one sense, no. none of the same members, none of the same management. Nothing is the same between the two of them. But on the other hand, they are the same team, aren't they? Because the team isn't defined by its members, but by a process. There is no I in team, you heard, and the Buddha would agree with that. He would say that we are a team that continues on as a team, but never as an I. So, therefore, the question remains, how do I eliminate this cycle of reincarnation? In Sanskrit, it's called samsara, and it is dukkha, because it's the process of craving that produces existence, that produces craving, and so forth. So, the way out of it is what is called nirodha or nirvana. And what we want to explain next is what exactly that is, because there's a lot of misconceptions about it. And if we understand everything that we've said so far, you yourself will be able to guess what it can't be.